All right. Think we are live. Checking everything, checking video, checking audio, everything. It seems to be going fine. Well, here we go. Hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and we're back on another live stream. This time, tonight, talking about, a rather uncomfortable topic. We're gonna talk about that backlash of Harry. Uncomfortable for Harry, not for us, of course. That is a very interesting distinction of everything that is going on. That ESPN is doubling down. This has gotten so bad. This has gotten so bad that ESPN had to step up and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna double down. We will be talking about that today. We will be talking as well as the King's Garden Party at Holyroodhouse. Holyroodhouse. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We're going to talk about Beatrice stepping up, and also a review of that book of House of Beckham, so recently released by Tom Bauer. That and more on tonight's show. So let's start with the main topic, the main attraction. Prince Harry backlash over award leads ESPN to issue statement defending decision. I mean, this is an actual thing. ESPN decided that there's so much, feedback. Let's say that there's feedback because, all the kind of adjectives they use to say when the public, the audience, we, the one who are witnessing this charade, we have an opinion, right? Well, they reacted to this feedback from us. ESPN has now issued a statement explaining their choice, which reads, ESPN, with the support of the Tillman Foundation, is honoring Prince Harry, Duke of Sausages, especially for the work of the Invictus Games Foundation as it celebrates its 10th year promoting healing through the power of sport for military service members and veterans around the world. While we understand that not everyone will agree with all honorees selected for any award, the Invictus Games Foundation does incredible work, and ESPN believes this is a cause worth celebrating. That's the problem of Harry being attached to the Invictus Games in such a way that it seems like he is the one who does it all. And at the same time, it's shameful that so many people are doing the actual work at the Invictus Games, and well, they have this because they deserve. The people at Invictus Games, I want to stress this out. The people at Invictus Games, the ones who actually made it possible, the ones who do all the hard work to make it possible, they deserve that award. But the problem is Harry getting in the way, and we are used to seeing Harry and Meghan, of course, using this for clout, for their own purposes, for their own brands, and not for what is the Invictus Games themselves. Well, in this case, we have good news and bad news. The good news is that the petition to get ESPN to rethink or reconsider this award to Harry is really close to 50,000 signatures, which is a lot. I'm pretty sure this is going to reach 100,000 signatures easily. How it has been racking up signatures every day. I think today it was more than 10,000 signatures. But you know that there are people fighting. By the way, if you want to sign, the link is in the description of this live stream, in the description of this video. It's right there. You can go and sign right now, or you can wait until the end of the live stream. Your choice, but make sure you sign the petition. Now, it's obvious by the thing that I'm going to show you, something that just popped up on my screen, and like barely 5 minutes before starting this live stream. This is something that I included at last minute, and I don't know if you can spot that on your screen. This is serious. Now there's a disclaimer in yellow at the top of that petition. And the disclaimer says this: we have received flags from our users that the facts in this petition may be contested. You should consider researching this issue before signing. Who is flagging this? What are the facts that could be contested? We all agree. The facts are pretty much straightforward. The ESPY award by ESPN is going to Prince Harry. Those are the facts. Nobody is contesting that. What everyone, including yours truly, are contesting is that Prince Harry doesn't deserve that award. That is the only thing that we are demanding. And there's a mass flagging of this. Are they using their bot farm for this? Are they using the Sausage Squad for this? Who would be flagging this if we're not Harry and Meghan's fans? Why do they care so much? Why is this so critical for them? I'm going to comment as well this. It's so interesting that Pat Tillman's mom was told about previous award winners of the Pat Tillman Award, but she was not told in advance about this precise one. Which, again, this is the kind of things that it's like when I analyze body language and human behavior, I tell you there's no single signal, there's no single clue that can lead you to a conclusion and say, oh, you are lying, or oh, I just uncovered you, just like Scooby-Doo. Not even in that Scooby-Doo episode, because they just rack in all the clues before they just pull up the mask from the episode's villain. But this is kind of things that are so strange. Why did you hide this pick, this selection of the Pat Tillman Award from Pat Tillman's mother? Were you thinking that there was going to be some kind of backlash? If you thought that Harry actually deserved the award because of the Invictus Games, or his connection to the Invictus Games, in other words, then why was the problem of telling Pat Tillman's mother in advance? That is quite suspicious. That is the kind of things that tell us that the plot is thickening and there is something beyond this, something that is deeper than this, and we still don't know what it is. But you know, when we are talking about Meghan and Harry, when we talk about the articles, everything is murky and everything is with second and hidden intentions. Those hidden intentions always, and I mean always come to light, and it always comes to bite them. And I'm sure that this is going to come to bite them. I'm going to say something about the award, by the way. And it's funny because I just said bite them. I have this slide, this kind of things that my mind is a bit crazy sometimes. But there is a recurring theme in the theory about what is all this thing about. I'm still researching what is the connection of Meghan to ESPN. The last one that I could think, which is a rather flimsy one, is the connection Meghan, Disney, ESPN, which is not really a connection. She's got no leverage or direct leverage that we know with ESPN. So that connection, Meghan, Disney, ESPN, I'm going to try to do a bit more research upon that, because that is the only way, that is the only connection that I can think of how they could just go and say, well, Harry should have this award. Some people say, oh, they just paid for that award, but I think that thinking that you can just pay for an award like that, that would be in turn, that would be at the same time like, what is the word? That would be against the memory of Pat Tillman. I wouldn't say, oh, you can just buy a Pat Tillman award, because that would be saying that, okay, the Pat Tillman Foundation is like it's okay with that, and Pat Tillman's mother is okay with people just paying for to get that award. That would be a bit insulting to Pat Tillman's memory. So that's something that I don't do. But you can have leverage. You can have leverage in the government. You can have leverage in the entertainment industry. You can have leverage in many aspects, so you can get things not by actually paying money, but maybe someone owes you a favor or something. That's something that's quite common in this kind of dynamics and how to get things in Hollywood, in politics. One favor here, one favor there. I always recommend, maybe you haven't seen that series, but I highly recommend that you look for Billions, one of my favorite TV shows ever. And you're gonna look for an episode, I don't remember from which season, that is called The King of New York. Billions TV show with Paul Giamatti and oh my god, I forgot. We see the protagonist, Alex, who plays Alex in Billions. Oh my god, my memory failed me. But look for Billions and look for the episode called The King of New York. That is the best example. Maybe at some point I will reconnect my Locals account, and that way we can watch, maybe you can watch shows there and analyze them. And that episode, I always love that episode, because that is the perfect example of how you do things, not because you pay for them, because you find what people need, and well, you go from favor to favor. Paul Giamatti does an excellent work acting on that on that show. So what could be this about? They could be using their leverage with their contacts to have Damian Lewis. Thank you, Nadine. Damian Lewis. I forgot one of my favorite actors. Right now, I forgot his name. That's something that happens in live streams, that my mind is trying to race, where it's racing with the current topic, maybe changing the topic to Billions. My mind says, man, we're talking about Harry. We're talking about leverage. We're talking about our war. Why are you throwing TV shows in here? But maybe I would, with time, I will have more space in my working memory. But people are saying that maybe this award thing, getting these awards, is to have a case for Harry's visa. You know that there are certain visas in all over the world. This is all over the world. This is not only for the United States. And you have this kinds of visas in which you are like this gifted person, or this very important person, or this awarded person, and that is a compelling case to file for certain types of visas. So it makes all the sense of the world that we have seen this drama of Harry. Oh yeah, my visa exactly is not available to see. This organization who is pushing for Harry's visa application to be made public, and it hasn't been made public. And it seems that at least the Biden administration is not very keen on revealing that. So Sadly, at least as long as Joe Biden is the president, it seems that it is not going to work that way. I know about the separation of powers, but I also watch House of Cards, so you know that they are always leverage when someone owes you a favor and you cash in that favor and that kind of thing. So this is very compelling. I have, of course, no proof of that. This is all speculation, but it's compelling at the same time. That could be a reason why they are buying these awards. He already got one from the NFL, and now he gets one from the ESPN, the ESPYs, and it's so how to say this, like critical for them that they go as far as to hire their bot farm to attack a petition from the general public to just rethink. There's no harsh language in this page. It's quite formal. It's something, well, natural. Nobody would tell you that this is like an outrage. I think outrage is the word. Something exaggerated, something out of the ordinary. It is normal that a person like Harry would not deserve an award like this. It's like an award like this being awarded to Kim Kardashian or something like that. And I already mentioned in other live streams that some figures of sports and sports commentators have already pronounced themselves against this. Sports commentator and ex-NFL star Pat McAfee slammed the ESPY Awards for shortlisting the Duke for the award. A lot of conversation about Pat Tillman's name, McAfee remarked. American hero, now there's an award named after him, as there should be in the sports world, because that is somebody who is the definition of selfless. He continued, it's going to Prince Harry, who I don't even think is a prince anymore. Not that it matters, but no, his character and what he has done, how he has acted, that speaks volumes against him. And Boston Connor, McAfee's sidekick on the show, on their podcast, went as far as to call Prince Harry's nod probably the most embarrassing thing I've seen in my entire life. So this is the backlash that we are seeing, and of course the victim narrative will always be there. Harry's going to try to play the victim in one way or another. Look at this, Prince Harry overworked and overthinking, so set to take major step back from plans. What is this about? What plans? Overworked from what exactly? From playing with his balls, juggling at the Montecito Garden? I don't know. What kind of overworking could he have? Maybe he could call, I don't know, Dr. Gabor Mate for another session to, align his chakras or something. But I don't know. Overthinking about what? It's, when you think about the word overthinking, no pun intended, it's like you are thinking more than usual, but it's that you would imply that Harry actually thinks to be overthinking. So one thing follows the other. So there's a faulty logic in there. You cannot overthink if there's not basic thinking in the first place. So think about that. Think about that kind of stuff. Also, there are always jokes that spark on social media. That is the relief that we have, that we have to laugh more. And sometimes the best jokes, the best, let's say, the most amusing moments come from unassuming replies. Like People Magazine has this article on X. Prince Harry's ESPY Award draws backlash from Pat Tillman's mother. And one guy replies, "Middle-aged white women really need to do better. He was never gonna pick you." To what someone else replied, "He married a middle-aged white woman." This is just perfection. You know that I'm always chasing and creating memes. These are the kind of things that make my day because, well, no lies detected. Humor works because it tells the truth, and this just tells the truth. And why is all this so relevant? As some royal commentators, I understand that Lady C has mentioned this as well. Well, there's a big problem in which maybe we are looking it at the wrong way. Maybe the ESPY award is a distraction. Maybe the ESPY award backlash and all that stuff is something to distract us from, what has been actually going on with Harry, right? That he deleted all that content that he shared with his ghostwriter, J.R. Meringer, and now NGM newspapers is demanding that he produces it because they have it. They absolutely have it. And if not, well, there is this problem, and I would not be surprised that the king has asked his advisors about what is the actual current state of things. I mean, what is the real thing that can happen here? And what can really happen here is a couple things. First, we would be talking, in case of Harry effectively lying about the evidence, it would be perjury or perverting the curse of justice, which is, it is bad enough in itself. It is something that, it's supposed justice cannot work unless you cooperate with that, and you are effectively, this is not going anywhere. You are the son of the king. So, and also, I'm going to elaborate in a minute about that. Also, Mr. Justice Fankert allows the case to continue, and in spite of the evidence disappearing and all that nonsense that Harry's team has spent 130 hours searching through emails. I mean, nobody believes that. I told you that is an insult to anybody's, even Harry himself, anybody's IQ and intelligence. That is an insult to anybody's intelligence. So the fact that Mr. Justice Fankert allows the case to continue, it is about a leniency, and it's like questioning the integrity of the legal process. And people could say, they are entitled to an opinion. Is this because it's Prince Harry? Is he having some kind of deference? Is kind of a benefit? Okay, I just deleted. I just lost the hard drives. I just lost the email addresses. I have no records of anything. And my ghostwriter has no records of anything. Who exactly is going to believe that? How exactly does that work? Make sure that you go back to my live, I think it was a couple evenings ago, when I detail the seriousness of this case in extents. And remember that Harry is still a counselor of state. So that's how things can escalate. And that's how, it's not that the king is worried, but he has to be concerned about these developments. It's something natural. And because the king's private secretary and the keeper of the privy purse could be compelled to turn over evidence. So maybe Harry could hide or destroy or play dumb about the evidence. That's something that Harry does pretty well. He doesn't play dumb. He's a professional at being dumb, by the way. That is something that he has polished over the year, being a dumb guy, a blockhead. That's something that doesn't come out of nowhere, something that you have to put actual effort into it. And Harry, it's one of the best in the world. There should be an award of blockhead of the year. And we would all agree with that. That would be perfection. Everybody would want. We would make memes about it. Harry would get an award, blockhead of the year. They would have some material for Harry's visa. Everybody wins. Why do I have to come up with this kind of things? Why is it me who has to come up with this kind of things? But you know how it is. You know how it is. They're always missing the mark. So this is the current state of affairs of Harry. So much so that ESPN decided to, well, make this statement. We are not going back. We are just honoring Harry because of the Invictus Games. That is the current state of affairs. And I would not be surprised that this is just a scheme, something kind of a strategy to make sure that all that, the evident things comes out of the headlines of the media. Because that I can understand that maybe Mr. Justice Fancourt has all these ingredients in his desk, and all right, I'm looking at this, and maybe the case can continue. Okay, Harry claims that he just lost the evidence or was destroyed for privacy reasons. But when you think about it, it's public opinion can make a difference. We can make an actual difference, pointing out the inconsistencies and how baffling is such a claim that he lost all of it. So I think maybe the Harry's ESPY Award Backlash has that goal. Okay, that is the main goal. So make sure that you fight those bots that are trying to just remove or put this in some kind of in bad light. Flags from our users that the facts in this petition may be contested. That is also insulting. That is the Sausage Squad being weaponized to defend Harry. Oh yes, defend Harry. Oh, that is what we have about Harry today. I'm reading your comments. Keeping an eye on your comments. Okay, I'm going to maybe read your super chats. Read your super chats before moving on. Dog Boy, Harry and Meghan are the most despised couple in the UK and the USA. As a couple, they're pretty high up there with all the scheming and all the hypocrisy and all this all the things that it's baffling to see in so many levels how this works. Emo, thank you, Emo. Royal Rogue Hat Fund. Yes, for the first one, the Bowler hat. Bowler hat is coming. I'm looking for a nice finish wool hat maybe for one of my upcoming lives. I hope to get it soon. And yes, Gloria Cross has a point. We have our own Warrior Games for veterans. Why Invictus Games? Harry copied us. Why give it to a foreigner? Gloria, you have a very important point. Why? We see that Prince Harry and Invictus Games, not Invictus Games. Invictus Games, as the Invictus Games, deserves it. The veterans and the Invictus Games deserve that recognition, deserve that being the media. The problem is Harry, of course. And Sue Hardy, super sticker, lemon character moving in excitement. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for that lemon. When Sue gives you lemons, well, we move on to the next topic. What is the next topic of tonight? The King's Garden Party at Holyroodhouse. I keep reading. I have my glasses on. and I keep reading Holyroodhouse. Talking about Hollywood all the time. I understand it's Holyroodhouse. That is the pronunciation, I hope. Garden party at the palace of Holyroodhouse. What is this? What is this garden party about? I was reading about it. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh joined King Charles III and Queen Camilla as they hosted a garden party at the palace of Holyroodhouse in Edinburgh on July 2nd. There are usually four annual garden parties hosted by the royal family at Buckingham Palace and the palace of Holyroodhouse for around 30,000 guests yearly, as well as a few special others. How can I get an invitation? Can you just, I don't know, jump a fence or something? Can you be disguised? I don't know how. I don't know that getting an invitation is the nice and sweet way to attend, but sometimes you have to take matters in your own hands. But rest assured that I will be arriving at any of those garden parties as the most Count of Monte Cristo way possible. I will be arriving as the most way of Count of Monte Cristo way possible. This was published by the royal family on X. The King and Queen, along with the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, have welcomed around 8,000 Scots to the gardens of Holyroodhouse. Guests at the garden party represent all walks of life and have all made a positive impact in their community. And I have more information here, a bit more information. Holyrood Week, also known as Royal Week, is an annual tradition in the United Kingdom where the reigning monarch spends a week in Scotland, primarily at the Palace of Holyroodhouse in Edinburgh. This week is filled with a variety of official and ceremonial events. Here are the key aspects of Holyrood Week. The tradition has been established to strengthen the ties between the Scottish people and the monarchy. It reflects the historical significance of Scotland within the United Kingdom as the monarch's role as the head of states. Is in the Palace of Holyroodhouse, which is dating back to the 16th century and serving as a significant royal residence. During Holyrood Week, the monarch hosts investiture ceremonies where honors and awards are bestowed upon Scottish citizens. And there's the garden party that we are looking at right now. The Thistle service, I hope I'm pronouncing that well. The monarch attends the annual service of the Order of the Thistle at St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. The Order of the Thistle is one of the highest honors in Scotland, celebrating individuals who have made significant contributions to the country. What else do we have here? Well, that is the most important, basically the most important facts. I have a couple annotations here to share with you. And the pictures, we have pictures, of course. Always lovely pictures. I got this thanks to Jersey Diane on X. Right, Queen Camilla attends the sovereign's garden party at the palace of Holyroodhouse, and that light shade of blue is just amazing dress, just amazing, and the hat has a blue rose, and for obvious reasons, I have some kind of something about roses. I don't know exactly why, but maybe I will find out someday why roses are so important to me. But just so lovely, Queen Camilla, with the hat and especially the light blue rose is just amazing. It's just amazing. Oh, some of you are asking about my drawing of Catherine. I haven't finished my drawing of Catherine, and from the last update, I haven't touched it. That's something that happens to me a lot as an artist, and in general, I maybe write an article or start an illustration. It has been all the time, and I always leave a couple of weeks to just let it sit again and go back to it and be able to see it again. It's like being able to work on the details again as they were fresh. It's coming. I promise that it will be. I think I should promise it before for this month, for July. Thank you for reminding me that Jersey Diana, again, the Duchess of Edinburgh, during the Sovereign's garden party held at the Palace of Holyroodhouse, and Sophie looking great as well. Well, we are used to seeing Sophie looking really, really good. There's also a very, very light shade of blue, and with her beautiful smile, a very, very lovely smile. You know, there are people, I love that phenomenon with certain people. They just smile at you, or just see their smile, and they make you feel good. It's like they lower your blood pressure. You feel calm. You feel, oh, this is nice. This is the kind of a smile that Sophie has. Like, especially in this, she's tilting her head to one side. She's like, she has that smile that is like she's really glad of seeing, I don't know, seeing the person that we don't know who she was looking at, but it's like she was glad and delighted of looking at that person or at that couple or whatever was happening. I think that kind of people is it's great to hang out with, because you're with them and you can feel that vibe. And I think that is the reason why so many times I got so many great feedback when I post pictures of Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, because she's got many fans because of that, of those vibes, and especially how she projects that with her body language. It's something that you cannot fake. It's like you could practice it, of course. Sometimes smiling in public doesn't come naturally to you. That is one thing, but feeling about the other person, being really glad about the other person, that is another thing. I remember that talking about that topic, it is fascinating, because at some point you say, well, but I don't like everyone. Maybe I don't like certain people, but at some point you can actually even think that, well, I could find something that I could learn from anybody. And we have seen that in many places, in quotes on the internet, in books, in movies, in series, in TV shows, that you can always learn something from everybody. So it's always nice to meet people and find out about them, because you never know what kind of, tiny spark is going to, inspire you something. At least that is my way of thinking. So maybe that is the attitude that we should have. Be delighted of all those interactions that we have. And the king was also looking solid. I haven't spoken about a top hat. Is that a name? A top hat? I never remember. I always forget if that is it a top hat, what he's wearing? Is that the actual name of the hat? Maybe at some point. I think the bowler hat and the Homburg come first in that. But maybe the top hat should be at some point one of my priorities, and have maybe some shows should be wearing the top hat. Why not? It should be at some point, like the top hat that is Edward wearing here, or some of you that I just remember I got traumatized after Trooping the Color. Oh, you aren't showing Edward enough. I'm going to show Edward in every show from now on, from Trooping the Color on. That I know that you absolutely love Sophie and Edward, so I will be showing them as much as I can. And this is the same kind of a smile that we're talking about. Is that warm smile, that is delighted smile. You have the head tilted a bit to one side. He's not tense, he's confident. I think you remember that we were talking about him about 1 year ago, that he looked a bit gaunt, that he looked a bit, his energy was not the same, but he has recovered that energy almost completely. And you can see it, that he is, well, he's ready to support the king, and he is also glad of doing so. And this is a complete reflection of Sophie's smile, delighted smile that we just saw. Look at this smile, and you look at Sophie's smile, and that is the perfect complement. They complement each other. And now I have to talk about something that was really funny. We'll keep this topic of King Charles. King Charles starts selling new product as rivalry between rival, right? It should be rivalry. Oh my God. Yes, I have to find out. You know that my still rival. So that should be rivalry. Right? Rivalry. King Charles starts selling new product as rivalry between Meghan Markle hots up. What rivalry are you talking about? What in which universe you can compare the two things? One brand that hasn't even launched, all right, and it's a for-profit. All that she has is a Instagram account which is totally empty, hasn't sold anything, and just a couple friendfluencers have announced her products. And well, King Charles' latest product to hit the shelves has been unveiled as Meghan Markle is set to make her next move regarding American Riviera Orchard, which we know that the next move is going to take a little, at least maybe until August at the least. And this is, the king has launched his organic high-grove royal state honey, which costs whopping £25 for a 350-gram jar. According to Highgrove, the latest and beautifully delicate honey from the monarch's private estate is ideal for toasts and breakfast treats. He says Highgrove, the design is chef's kiss. The design is spectacular. You know that these are the kind of hues that I just love. That hue of purple, you know, that is like my coronation tie, the purple one. That hue, purple, violet, all the way up to this deep pink, magenta. I love those hues, those colors, for I don't know, for some reason. This presentation, this is like, has simplicity and has class at the same time, and I'm sure the label doesn't peel off. Highgrove Honey Royal State from the Royal Gardens at Highgrove, a unique soft set honey with a citrusy floral flavor. All right, it's not just amazing. I would like to get my hands on one of this. Do they? Okay, I would ask what's the shipping. Maybe I can get one of this. So let's move on to the topic of Beatrice stepping up, and this is a two-part report, and Princess Beatrice officially stepping in for Prince William could be sending a major message. Will she and Princess Eugenie? Why do you have to include Princess Eugenie? Princess Eugenie is not here. You know that Princess Eugenie is still in the testing chambers. It's like still in the you're not you yet. You still need to prove yourself. But Beatrice has always been the closest one to William and Catherine. Will she and Princess Eugenie end up being working royals after all? Let's talk about Beatrice this time. She filled in for her cousin Prince William at an Earthshot Prize event on June 25. William was booked since Japanese Emperor Naruhito was in London for an official state visit, so his cousin attended the Earthshot event instead, even though she is not an official working royal. This is interesting but it's also about out of necessity. You know that King Charles wanted to slim down the part of the working royals, but that in turn meant that if Princess Anne, for example, was had this problem with this horse accident, if Catherine is still recovering at home from her cancer treatment, the king himself has to take things easily. You know that kind of things happen, and you have the visit of the Emperor of Japan to the UK, then, well, you have to call for backup. I would like to know, what do you think about this? You know that I'm still, are you okay with this? Some of you are saying that you want Zara as well. We want Zara. That would be interesting as well. But I'm going to keep an eye on your comments right now to see what do you think about Beatrice stepping in for this kind of events, engagements, and maybe eventually becoming a working royal. Maybe it's maybe some of you agree, some of you don't. I'm just asking you because, well, maybe 99% of you, maybe 100% of you have a more experience with the royals than me. So you are the truly experts. So what do you think is, I can talk about body language. I can talk about, intentions of people. I can talk about trends in human behavior applied to the royal family, but you have vastly more experience watching and reading and listening and everything about the royal family than me. So you must have a better idea than me. And while you say that in the live chat, there's also this. I'm going to just defend Beatrice in this one. Princess Beatrice sips drinks at Glastonbury VIP bar after bands shock anti-royal chants. You know that these headlines, you have to read the body of the text to really understand them. And what happened in here? She was at Glastonbury, this music festival. She was spotted partying into the early hours at a secret VIP Glastonbury hideaway. And this came just hours. You know, the Glastonbury festival is many bands, not just one band, many bands. After rock band idols stir up the crowd with a shocking chant of F the King, an anti-royal chant. This is almost expected. This is something absolutely normal. Nobody expects everybody to love the king or the monarchy. It's something normal, nothing out of the ordinary. During their headline performance on the other stage on Friday, the other stage, it seems that one particular stage. Also, these festivals they're so big, there are different stages over many days. So I would cut Beatrice some slack here, because maybe she wasn't even aware of that chanting. Maybe that's something that happens all the time, and it's not like she was going to be offended by something that happened hours before. I don't know. That is my point of view. Again, maybe you have a different point of view. Maybe I don't have all the information. Maybe you do have. But that is maybe I know how the media works. Like, let's put this like Beatrice is betraying the crown for this. She's betraying the crown of this. All right. So some of you are mentioning also Lady Louise. Yes, Lady Louise is 20 and would be an excellent support for the firm. She would be amazing, like her parents. I agree. Why not? All right. A struggle. I'm going to create. Let's make this formal. But I'm going to make a poll just about Beatrice. I'm going to start a poll. Are you okay? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, my rogues, on the live chat. Are you okay with just Beatrice, not Eugenie? Let's not talk about Eugenie this time. Just Beatrice becoming a working royal, yes or no? It's very easy. Poll starts now, and we will be review the poll in maybe 5-6 minutes. Because while we move on, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Speaking of the visit of the Japanese emperor to the UK, I wanted to talk about this as well. Poignant tribute to late Queen Elizabeth II by Japanese emperor shows royal alliance. Interesting that Emperor Naruhito had spent quality time with the royal family when studying at Oxford University in the 1980s. Oh, that was I love the 80s. You know that I was born in the 70s, so I'm actually a child of the 80s. You know that era for me was amazing. I could talk hours about that decade, so it brings me memories like the Barbra Streisand song. It was Queen Elizabeth II who invited the young prince to come spend time with the royal family at Balmoral Castle, and that's where he got to know the then Prince Charles, and the two bonded over fly fishing. Naruhito said during a speech, "I visited the tomb to express my deep gratitude for everything they did for me." That is so poignant. And we spoke to Rafi Heidelman, who royal expert and commentator, who said of the moment, "The most poignant moment was the emperor's private visit to St. George Chapel, Windsor, to lay a wreath on the tomb of the late queen." That is, I don't know how I missed this. You know that I have this thing with Japan. I love everything that is Japanese, and the poll already has 300 votes, and there's a massive approval of just Beatrice becoming a working royal. But we can move on before we check the results of the poll. On tonight's last topic, House of Beckham's review. I didn't know that this book was out. I just realized that some outlets were talking about excerpts of this book. The book is from Tom Bauer. I mentioned it because you know how close, I don't want to see entangled. You know how Will Smith painted that word, and it's already tainted. How entangled is the House of Beckham with the royal family, both David and Victoria. I don't know if you have read the book. Again, I've seen some reviews. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you a summary about the reviews of the book. If the design rings a bell, it's because it's the same design style of Revenge. Because the book is from Tom Bauer, and from there we have this: how David Beckham got revenge on Prince Harry for Meghan Markle's snub. You remember that time when Meghan excluded David from any photos with Harry. Photographs of the two together were forbidden. The royal snub was brutal. David Beckham was puzzled. Why did the prince refuse to meet him? The exclusion order, it later transpired, was issued by Meghan. She did not want any competition in the media from Beckham, and especially not from his wife Victoria. Now, you know that when we read Revenge, it had all these references to the back of the book, and where did Tom Bauer get his references from? I don't know. For example, he says here, the exclusion order, it later transpired, was issued by Meghan. Maybe it's so widely known that he doesn't have to add any kind of footnote to check the articles that mention it. But it's odd, and that's gonna be important in a minute. He allegedly flew 7,000 miles from Qatar to Boston to join the new Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, and President Biden to celebrate the launch of the Royals Environmental Earthshot Prize during the 2022 World Cup. That was the revenge he did on Harry. That was like slap in the face. Maybe you take it as revenge, maybe not, but that was his decision. That's what he did. And the reviews of the book, both here, has only 33 ratings so far, But I was skimming through some of the chapters. I haven't read it that much, but it is mainly about his football career. Maybe you are into football, maybe you're not, but you are in for a lot of football discussion. Also, I don't think Tom Bauer likes either David or Victoria that much, because there's a lot of criticism of them, of they doing everything for their brand. Again, it's obvious that they have this huge brand, like the Beckhams. It's something that it's a thing. And you don't have a huge brand without having some sacrifices to your personal life. I've seen some reviews that it implies that they live for their brands and nothing else. And I don't know. I have seen their body language. I have seen their interviews. I have seen them interaction. And maybe especially, I've seen more David than Victoria. And he seems quite down to earth. Maybe he is aware how important is his brand. I mean, it's not only because he was a great athlete, a football player, but well, his brand as Calvin Klein model, for example. I remember that I made give a public speech, like it was, my God, it was in 2012. I gave a public speech, and one of the jokes that I included in that public speech was David Beckham in underwear. It was very funny. But yes, that part of the brand is something that you need to realize. It's like Cristiano Ronaldo. You have a brand. You are a brand. And at what point you have to separate your personal life from your brand? So I don't know. Maybe you can criticize it. Maybe you can you like them or not. But it seems that Tom Bauer's book emphasizes that allegedly they only do all the things that they do for their brand. But being true or not that they gave us this meme on their Netflix documentary, and for me that is enough redeeming for whatever they could be guilty of. This is a meme that's gonna live for the ages, so thanks to David and Victoria for that meme. Let's see the results of the poll. While I mention here, by the way, I saw all this totally unrelated, but I wanted to mention this. Princess Anne and Sir Tim Lawrence on a fan account on X. This is a fan account. For those who want to send their well wishes to the Princess Royal, her mailing address is Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal, Buckingham Palace, London, SW1A1AA. Just in case if you want to send her well wishes with an actual letter. All right, that would be a thing. And I'm going to end tonight's live stream with this picture of the Princess Royal and Catherine. I hadn't seen this picture. It's really nice. Looks really nice. And let's see our results. 500 votes. We reach 500 votes. Are you okay with just Beatrice becoming a working royal? Not Eugenie, not anyone else. Just Beatrice becoming a working royal. Yes, 72%. It's a lot. No, 28%. So almost 3/4 of you are agree that Beatrice should be given the alternative of becoming a working royal. I didn't say it. You said it. More than 500 of you in a democratic poll decided it right now, tonight. Oh my God, some super chats. I always forgot I had some super chats in here. I'm going to give this. You like this image? I'm going to leave it right there while I read the super chats. Drew Baldo. The many publicity stunts of Harry since in the US align with different visa requirements. For example, buying awards, O1 visa. I think that is the exceptional individual or something. I don't remember what is the name of that classification. Anne-Marie just dressed as a gardener. That was about what? I don't know. I don't know the context of the super chat, but thank you for that. I'm trying to think about it. Right. SF Popcorn Planet showed that winning awards can help with getting or retaining a visa. Yes, that's a thing. That's actually that makes you a valuable person for the country that you're applying a visa. It could be the United States, could be any other country in the world. Almost every single country has that if you have published papers in your field, if you're a scientist, or if you're a writer and have earned awards of any kind, it seems that you have a recognition of your work. And in this case, well, Harry would have some sort of recognition for his work in the Invictus Games, even if something that is truly public. But it could be like he's looking for that formality. Oh, right. Interesting and super chat from Oliver. ESPN interviewed Tillman's mom in April for the 20th anniversary of his death, but now her opinion is meaningless. A political attempt by Harry's people to tie him to a right-wing American military figure? I don't know, but this is so strange that they are pushing this with all their might, and it seems that we have not seen the end of what is the plan of the article. So I will be there, dig in, see what I can find, and bring you the best possible live streams and shows about the Royals and non-Royals. My Royal Rogues! My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And until we meet on another video or another live, remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.